Tune in to News Across the Galaxy, where they talk all things LA Galaxy with the Nag Boys. Let's start nagging.
And you're live.
What's up?
All
Yeah,
right.
we're on. Yeah,
That was weird.
I
It
got
came
that
on
back.
twice, or was I tripping? Was my side tripping? Maybe.
You're tripping, bro.
Okay. Anyway, welcome to News Across the Galaxy, where we talk all things LA Galaxy. I am your host, Bryant Lobos, and of course, always with me, Mr. Edgar Zuniga. How you doing, sir?
I'm all right, man. I'm just trying to keep cool and warm, humid summer night. There
Oh,
was a lot going on today in the world of football, and we're not even getting into the Galaxy stuff from yesterday. But my goodness,
yeah.
if you saw the Euros and the Copa America, especially that Copa America, oh my
Oh, we'll
goodness,
get into it right now.
yeah.
And of course, on the ones and twos, like always, Chuyaso. How you doing, Chuyaso?
Hey, what up? What up? Doing pretty good.
Keeping cool?
It's nice and fresh over here, so I'm good.
Lovely. Well, yeah, you live in very close to the beach, kind of. So that's like
Kinda. Not bad.
anyway. Let's go with what Edgar mentioned earlier. The Euros, the final of Spain versus England, a match that I mean, I wanted England to win before everything started, but I kind of knew that Spain was the more complete team, and they kind of showed that throughout the whole game. It was a pretty intense game. I got to watch the second half and the extra time, and yeah, it was one of those finals that you wanted to see, right? You extra time, game winners, the drama, and all that. So it was pretty good to watch. How'd you see that, Edgar?
Oh my goodness, what an intense game. It is everything that you would want in a final because a lot of times you get to these final games and there's a level of disappointment because maybe one team just did not show up that day, or they have some sort of fatigue, and you could tell that there's a letdown in that game. But both teams came ready to fight. This was a bar fight from the very get-go. Uh, and like one of my friends said, I have a friend who's from England, and he said there's no shame in losing 2-1 to a team as good as Spain. He said it still hurts, but
Yeah.
I don't find any shame at all to lose to a team, team that good in such a fashion. So at least I can hold my head high, stiff upper lip, and all that. I mean, he didn't say that, uh, but I said, hey, stiff upper lip and carry on, lad.
And this is the
And
thing. England has been going through these national team resurgences, and then this team is actually really good for the British team. And so, of course, they wanted to win it, but like I said, just the way Spain was playing, they looked like the way more complete team from
yeah,
both of them. And the thing is, okay, let me ask you this: we saw the Spain win a title, right, with Xavi, Iniesta, Ramos, and basically the Barcelona and Real Madrid team at that moment, right? Do you think this team is anywhere close to being that competitive? I know it's not the same team. Of course, those guys that won that title are basically legends. But the Spain team is pretty good. And would you find it fair to kind of make that comparison? And maybe they're going with the young guys right now and making that transition to becoming world champs?
it's definitely fair to make that comparison. But before we can absolutely say that they're at that level, or maybe even greater than that team in 2010, and those late 2000s team, you got to remember that that team won a World Cup.
Yeah.
But uh, are we seeing a precursor to that? Is this a preview of what's to come in World Cup 2026, where Spain just goes through the competition and gets to another final? Uh, you never know. Maybe we saw a preview of that today. Maybe we'll see Spain versus Argentina in World Cup 26, because the powers that be will definitely want to have a certain Argentinian fella in that final to cap off his amazing career. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to transition to Copa America just yet, but what a fantastic final! I know at the end, I was thinking about Eddie, and he was clutching his ball wall there really hard. But yeah, I was actually cheering for England. This is one of those rare chances where I'm like, okay, let's cheer for Doctor Who and then the Brits, right? But I have to say something that everybody's gonna probably like laugh about, but I really, really believe at this point that Harry Kane is cursed because that dude didn't win any trophies in England. He goes over to the Bundesliga and he ends their streak and doesn't win anything with them. And then just when England looks like they're gonna win a World Cup, what was it 6 years ago? Four,
Yeah.
yeah, 6 years ago, they didn't. Right? They fell apart at the end against Croatia. And now this time they're like in another final and following up the other final, right? 4 years ago. And my goodness, está salado el maje. They can't
Yeah.
win nothing.
Yeah, and
With the
I mean
10,
he's a veteran on the team too, so you would think that he'd bring
right?
some type of
They gotta
experience
let this
and
guy
nothing.
go, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, Harry. You're barred from coming to the training center,
Yep.
until England wins a World Cup or a Euro, man. Because damn, this at this point, I mean, am I the only one thinking this? This guy's cursed.
Yeah, well, as Musa on the chat says, never coming home. So
Oh,
so I don't know what it is about England. I mean, it's not like they have a bad squad. And could it
no,
be
they
a
have a really
coach?
good team.
Could it be a coach issue? Could it be not? I can't really pinpoint what it is. It was just Spain was just a better team today, and
Yeah.
by a lot. So
Oh, another.
sorry, mates. Shout out to the homie Aaron who was rooting for England, and the homie James who is from England, and he might have been crying or not. I don't know. I'm not sure.
There is one thread that ties this to MLS, and that is the whole thing about Southgate, right? Being the
Yes.
manager of England, he was one of those names that people jokingly have been throwing around as what if he could be the next manager of the U.S. men's national team?
Oh,
And people were like,
please
ha,
no.
ha, ha, no, no, right? But then you start hearing about some of the other names that are coming up. Obviously, a lot of people, the popular one was Jurgen Klopp, and Klopp is like, sorry, fellas, I need my time off. Got to respect that. But then you start hearing about other names, and one of them is from the neighbors down the road. It's,
No.
and Chirundolo, right? And
Yeah.
I was talking to Eddie, and I was also talking to one of the LAFC pods earlier, and I asked him, "What do you think about that?" He's like, "Please, God, no." He's like, "This is." He's like, "This is going to be such a distraction for the club," and this is before their game, right? He was like, "This is
Mhm.
going to be such a distraction for the club, and the U.S. does not need Chirundolo to be there. They need somebody else. They need to look outside the league." And it's something that Eddie said too, like, yeah, they need to look outside the league. Chirundolo, no, he can't be it. But guess what happened? Something must have stirred the pot there, because you look at their game, and yeah, there was some weird stuff going on in the second half of their game. But my God, they got blown out.
Yeah.
They got destroyed.
It,
And
and
so
that's
at
something we
this
could
point,
touch on later too, because I think the standings are gonna, it worked out for the standings. Sorry for
yeah,
cut you off. Yeah, continue.
no, but I'm just saying. I think there's some ripples there in the water, and it might be affecting that. So he didn't when he was asked, "Hey, would you be the next manager of the U.S.?" Salute. He didn't say no.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. But anyway, this transition to the other big tournament today, and
Yeah.
what a what a. I mean, I want your reaction to this because I was busy doing a lot of stuff at home today. But one of the first things that I did see was footage about this absolute chaos going on at Hard Rock Stadium, whatever it's called,
Yeah.
in Miami, the old Joe Robbie Stadium, and wow, this is stuff you only see uh, in some of the more unruly footballing leagues or footballing nations, right? You hear about stampedes, and you very rarely, if ever, hear about this happening in the United States. Not saying that it's impossible,
Yeah.
but you very ever rarely see this. And just horrific images from what was going on in Miami. You want to take it from here? Explain what happened.
Well, I don't know. That's the thing.
Oh,
It's bad security. No, I've seen the videos, but to
yeah,
pinpoint exactly what happened, I cannot. This is one of the things where it's big cause for concern because if we all been paying attention to world football, the next World Cup is going to be here. And if you're
yeah,
having a Copa America final and you can't secure the fans to get in there, it's shocking to me that there was that much chaos in a match here in the United States. Not that it, like you said, not that it wouldn't happen, but it's shocking to see it here, especially because of that aspect that I just mentioned, the World Cup. I seen a lot of people almost stampeding in. A lot of people got in for free, basically. I
yeah,
seen Colombian fans trying to get into the stadium through air vents. I
yeah.
seen people jumping. I seen it all, and
There was a dog at the stadium.
yeah, and this is the thing though. I get that everybody's excited to watch their national team play a final, especially in these Copa Americas that are very intense from day one, even in the group stages. But you got to have some type of a calm nature about you to get into these things because you can put everybody else in danger. Imagine the stampede actually went in occurred, and then innocent people come out injured, and even pass away. And those things have happened around the world, and you wouldn't want to see anything like that here in the United States. And it's a big concern for me just because of that World Cup thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really sad because uh, it's really late on the East Coast, and I mean it's late here on the West Coast as well, but it's really late on the East Coast, and I'm sure at this point they're beginning to get a tally of what's going on with the damage control over there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure by Monday we're going to start to hear about victims, people that were injured, uh, and the damage toll. I've seen some videos where, like you said, people were trying to break into the vent, so you could tell right away that yeah, they damaged the vent system, right?
Hmm.
I saw images of a broken escalator, a glass escalator, into the stadium that was damaged too. What's to say? Oh, chairs, seats, bathrooms probably have been damaged. Uh, who knows what else? Well, I'm sure by Monday morning we're going to start to hear a tally of all this. Hopefully, there aren't any serious injuries, uh, but this is something you definitely do not want to see. And it's really unfortunate because anybody that remembers World Cup '94, and I remember it very well, there was nothing like this at the
Hmm.
time. I mean, Colombia was in that World Cup, and there's nothing like that at all. So at this point, you see this, and it raises the level of concern. But at the same time, because Copa America is sort of like a dress rehearsal for the World Cup, it raises some red flags and some cautionary items that have to be addressed definitely before the World Cup comes around. Uh, so maybe it's a blessing in disguise, but at the same time, you never want to, have to absorb these hard lessons in order to improve. But at the same time, it's hard, man. I mean, I know
Yeah.
what you're saying at the same time. Do you feel that it took some luster away from the final game itself? Because
No,
we
definitely
had
not.
a pretty intense game, right?
Yes, and no, it did not. I was just about to say that some of the positives of this final in Copa America was the environment inside the stadium, and the match itself was high pace, intense from the beginning of the whistle to the end of it. Uh, and I was also going to add on that we've seen around the world where stadiums are at max capacity, and the unfortunate thing happens where sometimes those collapse. Some seats collapse, and then people, and it didn't happen this time around, and so that's a positive in a way. Um, but yeah, man, they got to fix that. I didn't like to see that before the match. I mean, everything that happened in the match and inside the stadium, the environment was beautiful. Colombia, Parceros showed up. They sang their national anthem. What's the name? Carol G. Becky G.
Shakira, ¿no?
Becky G.
Carol G sang the national anthem. Shakira did the halftime show. So it was a good environment. It was just the stuff before that you don't want to see that here, especially because we're planning to host a World Cup.
Dude,
Yeah,
but
another thing. Go
My
ahead.
thing is that is still super dangerous, man.
Yeah,
Because deja que yeah, okay, the seating didn't fail, like nothing like that happened, right? These stadiums are built to sit like a shitload of heavy fans. So one seat can take two seats, right? For most general weighted people. The thing that cringed me honestly is everything is so packed. Your fire exit, everything is so packed
Yeah,
that I, there hasn't nothing's been said yet because nothing came out or on Twitter or anything at least that I've seen. But dude, you pass out, emergency service ain't getting to you. If somebody
yeah,
tramples you, you're screwed. You're close to dying. There's no way you can get help in the middle of all those people blocking all that if something happens to you.
yeah,
You're screwed. Like that, there's a reason why there's emergency exits. There's a reason why there's emergency rows. Like there's a reason that is built in. And when you put 115 to 150% capacity, there's no way you're safe. And it's messed up because yeah, at the end of the day, the safety of the people there should be the number one concern. But when the people don't care about their own safety, it's worse that way.
yeah. Spoken like a true safety manager, sir.
Homer Simpson.
Yeah. Also, I seen that there was some unfortunate accidents here in Los Angeles
Yeah,
as well. Brawls. I mean, to be honest, those were expected.
Bras?
Brawls, bras,
Oh,
brawls,
brawls.
brawls. That sounds brawls. Whatever. Fights. Bum fights. Yeah, and so those things are the things that we don't want to see be attached to the game, the beautiful game of football. And today happened to be that. Congratulations to Argentina who won. They did it without Messi.
Yeah,
And
I was gonna mention something about that, by the way.
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm sure Don Garver probably shat his pants as he saw his cash cow
Yeah.
like twist his ankle like that, and then take a hard tackle. Oh my goodness!
Well, I think I
So
seen
what?
pictures of his ankle inflated. No, was that his?
Yeah, man. And look, let me tell you something. There was all this hope for Inter Miami to win some hardware this year. You can pretty much forget about that because it's you gotta if you're gonna take care of Messi, you gotta give him time to heal. And after going through this pretty intense tournament, yeah, he gets to lift the Copa America. But as far as Inter Miami is concerned, they can forget about League's Cup. They're probably gonna take a dip in the standings after this because uh, their boy's not there. Suarez is coming back. They've been playing good, right? But my goodness, yeah, got to give that guy the time to heal. But yeah, not good for MLS. Yeah, Apple TV is probably going to take a hit too.
Right now, shout out Mike Gray. Your ankle was actually worse, sir. that was not
Yeah,
that was not a very good looking ankle. It's doubled whatever Messi has right now. But all right, enough of these finals. It was great football to watch, to be honest. Yeah, I actually enjoyed the football today. All right, moving on.
wait, hold on, guys. If you're at
Yes.
the digs, unless it's a fucking game that says take your dog, don't take your dog.
oh yeah. Somebody took a dog to the stadium. Poor dog got cut up in the stampede.
Oh
Yeah, dude. I
no.
saw the video where just randomly a dog is running and a lady's trying to, like, a photographer's trying to catch him. Like, what the hell, man? Don't take your pets, please. Because then
Yeah,
they
we
fly
laugh about
away.
this now, but
Because then they
man,
fly
that's
away when you take your pets to the stadium like your neighbors.
Dude, there's so many chaotic things happening these past couple of days from football and from non-football stuff. It's just what's in the air, bro. Something's happening.
it's summer, man. It's
It
summertime.
is
That
summer.
heat's
It's that
got
summer
everyone
heat. Yep.
loopy, man.
Ugh. Damn it.
All
It's
this.
it's in the grain, bro. X Men. What is it? Logan is coming true. It's in the wheat.
All right.
Bro. We do have some Galaxy news to start
Yes.
our Galaxy talk.
Yes. Yes.
Bryant, you want to hit on that?
Yeah. Isaiah Parente, 24-year-old midfielder, signed by the club from MLS Next Pro affiliate Ventura County FC. He signed through 2024 with the option for 25 and 26. Played with the Galaxy earlier this year, formerly a homegrown with Columbus Crew. He played 13 matches with the Crew plus 24 with the Crew 2 in Next Pro. Can say I am very familiar with his game, but if the LA Galaxy is taking a chance on a young midfielder, especially with this front office who I've trusted since day one, basically, it's a good sign, right? We're kind of thin. We're not thin, but we do need some type of depth. It might not be the depth that we actually need, which is on striker. Spoiler alert. But
Spoilers.
yeah, a young man that's living his dream. He made it to the pros. He made it to the LA Galaxy, and I think I'm happy for him. What you got on that, Edgar?
Yeah, a lot of people were wondering, is he a replacement for Gaston Brugman, who, from last we heard, by the way, he headed down to Uruguay to get his green card, which is fantastic. It frees up an international slot for LA Galaxy. Um, and so, yeah, that's good for us. And in the meantime, we get to add to the depth of the team. Now, is this going to be a thing like center back Garces, where you hear he's on the team and you never see him, and
Yeah.
he only shows up for like 30-second cameos once a month? I don't
Hold on.
know, right? But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he fits in. I'm sure it'll be important to have him in there with the League's Cup coming up. I know a lot of people aren't too happy that MLS teams are going to have to take a break to play this tournament. But if the team is going to be participating, at least having that kind of depth, you could throw him out there, maybe give him an opportunity to play against some good teams. Well, I'm sorry, one good team because San Jose sucks. But yeah, and see how he does. Because last year we got to see Mikovic play, and he did really good against Leon. And so maybe it'll be an opportunity for Isaiah to go out there and show what he's got.
Yeah, and these are the
I thought
type
we were
of
talking about Garces.
no
No,
Isaiah
Isaiah
Parente.
Parente.
I mean, we could touch him Garces later on. I think he got a
Yeah,
little bit more playing time this time around now. Or am I
yeah.
tripping?
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
pretty sure they're gonna use him a lot for the League's Cup.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna get into. I think for the most part, this is going to be a tournament where Vanny might use some of these younger guys to fill out his roster, which I'm all for. I would like the LA Galaxy to concentrate more on MLS and MLS Cup, but this is a way to get into Champions League. So there's gonna be a good balance that Vanny's gonna have to do, and hopefully this guy could be a piece that he could use during that time. All right.
and by the way, if anybody's wondering, as of right now, we keep hearing just little bits and pieces about the whole Marco Royce thing, and so far it's just they're in negotiation. They're just in negotiation, and that's that. Um, you never know. Galaxy usually makes announcements on Tuesdays. Maybe there'll be an announcement on Tuesday that hey, he's here, or maybe it'll be next Tuesday, or maybe they'll wait until Oktoberfest. Who knows?
Ooh, Torfest. I'm
Right?
sorry.
I have to walk in with like on
With
a
a Stein.
throne with a bunch of steins. Hey, guten Tag.
Uh, well,
Like, no lie, I'm gonna throw this. Well, I don't know if we're gonna talk about League's Cup or not, but I'm gonna throw this real quick.
yeah.
Um, I'm kind of excited for Chivas to come over
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Oh yes.
I hope there's one player that interests me as a forward for us to get to develop, and I hope Well, I want to see if he plays, and I want to see if he's as good as he seems. And I'll throw it out there. His name is Yael Padilla. He plays for Chivas. He's young, but
Mhm,
he's a striker. So he looks good on the times that I've seen him play. I'll watch Chivas games here and there.
mhm.
So I think that could be a some type of prospect for the Galaxy later on, or now
Yeah.
or
Um,
soon.
Hey,
He's
by the
hopefully.
way, yeah, I just want to address that real quick because it's good that you mentioned that. I actually reached out to a a dedicated Chivas Guadalajara English language podcast called Chivas del Norte, and they will be featured on our midweek show as we preview that matchup in the League's Cup. So any questions we have about players like him, we can ask them right away, and we hear it straight from the source. So just so you guys know, we are going to have a Chivas pod on here. Just like last year we had a Leon pod with Gary and the fellows from the Lions Den. This year we're having a pod from Chivas, called Chivas del Norte. So you
That
stay
is
tuned.
a ridiculously dope name. Chivas del Norte. That is amazing. I love that.
I wonder where I
Uh,
got that idea from.
yeah. Well, let's continue on before we get into the next topic about the Leagues Cup. It's going to be played in 2 weeks, correct? I think it's going to be this weekend's match, and then next weekend, the LA Galaxy will face Chivas Guadalajara in Los Angeles. Well, Carson at the Digs, right? Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, let me
We
double
got
check
2 games. Well, we got 3 games and then Chivas.
Okay, so it's this weekend, the midweek coming up on Wednesday, and
Yeah,
then that's
Colorado, Portland, San
and
Jose.
then and then it's Chivas. All right, so
Yep.
we have time for those questions to come in to ask the Chivas del Norte. Dude, that should have such a sick ass name.
Yeah. So the current schedule is lined up. Wednesday it's Colorado. Then on Saturday it's Portland. And then the Leagues Cup begins with a game on July 31st against the Smurfs. That's at San Jose, apparently. And then back here at home against Chivas Guadalajara, which is funny because they're listed as the home team.
Well, it probably will be their home game. Let's be honest.
Yeah, right. Just like
Yeah.
that Leon game was a home
Yeah,
game
yeah.
for Leon.
But it's gonna be good to
Anyway,
see him. It's gonna be good to see Chivas, and maybe we see Chicharito. Maybe we see
Daniel.
Daniel Aguirre, and of
Yeah.
course the player that I wanted to be in the LA Galaxy, El Cowboy Cowell. I wanted him to be here, but I guess he went over there instead. Whatever, fool. You would have enjoyed life better here. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's move on. Edgar,
yes, sir.
you tend to do these beautiful kit reviews,
Thank you.
and there is a particular kit that the LA Galaxy is about to drop. What do you got on that so far? Will you have a review on that third kit? Because that kit, in my eyes, is a very, very beautiful kit.
Yes. And it's not just you. It's not just Galaxy fans. I've been talking. We have a lot of good friends from across the league, especially some of the teams that are involved in this kit launch is coming up. And if you haven't heard, MLS is doing this thing called MLS Archive Collection, and I don't know if they're just testing the waters, but only 5 teams are involved. From what I heard, teams had to meet a certain quota. What they had to sell a certain number of kits in order to qualify for this. So you have LA Galaxy, you have Sporting Kansas City, which 2 legacy teams, and then you have Portland Timbers, which is okay. That's interesting. And then you have Inter Miami, I guess Buku Bucks, right? And then LAFC, like what? Okay, well, fine. That's fine. You're all invited to the party, right? But so every one of these kits is going to have some kind of retro reverse retro look to them. So the Kansas City one has the Kansas City Wizards old badge, which I think is fantastic. I've seen this kit; it looks really nice. um there's the LAFC one, which I'm gonna be nice. I'll say that they borrowed the LA Aztecs theme for their kit. Then there's Inter Miami, which they're borrowing from the Miami Dolphins, which I spoke to one of the Miami pods, and they were very disappointed because they were hoping that with Inter Miami they would have taken from the Miami Fusion, which is the old MLS team, instead of going for a football team, right? NFL football team with the Dolphins. And then there's the Portland Timbers one, which, yeah, I did speak to a guy who's a longtime Timbers fan, and he offered me his take on it. So we have people from every team that's involved offer their take on the kit. And I asked them too. One of the questions that I asked was like, "What do you guys think about these kits? Which ones do you think are the best?" And obviously, a lot of people were like, "Yeah, ours is the best," but a lot of them said, "You know what? That Galaxy kit is fire. This thing is
Yes.
beautiful." And I'm gonna go ahead and say that when you finally get your hands on this kit and it's in your hands and you're looking at this thing, you're gonna want to touch it. You're gonna caress it. You're gonna take it to bed that night, and then in the morning, you're gonna realize that you made one of the best decisions of your life, and that it is gonna go down as one of the probably top three best MLS, I mean best Galaxy kits of all time, and probably one of the top five, top six best MLS kits ever. It's a work of art. I still keep in touch with Tanque Hurtado. I sent him a picture of this and I was like, hey, Tanque, look at this. Because he actually played in the original 96 kit, right? And I sent it to him. He's like, que morsura, que belleza. He was like, I'm just disappointed that I'm not there to buy one. And I was like, what? Let me link you to the Galaxy so that they can hit you up. I mean, you're a Galaxy legend. You deserve to have one. And I think they're going to hit him up for it to give him his own. But yeah, you got one of the legends saying, what a beautiful kid. I'm sure Greg Vanny, he got to play in the original 96, and
Mhm.
probably he's foaming at the mouth to get hands on his own. Um, I'm like, they're officially unveiled on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, I'm pretty sure they're going to play in them because guess what? Wednesday night, it's going to be 90s night. That's the
Ah,
big.
that is correct. So make sure if you're gonna be there, wear all your '90s stuff, your Timberlands,
Hell yeah.
your Carl Kanai, your
Your Jinko jeans.
Jinko jeans. You know,
Listen to
your
corn.
your starter caps, all that good stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh yeah, and just real quick, just wrapping up. Yes, there I am putting together an article to talk about this, and it's going to have different takes from different podcasters, different people talking about the different kits. So look out for that. It's going to come out this week.
Yeah, and before we move on from that, the thing that you mentioned about how Miami's kit is the Miami Dolphins, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, to quote the great DJ Quick, for MLS, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it's all about
Yeah.
this.
Oh, and to cap it off, it's not just kits that are coming out. I'm sure if you've been paying attention on Twitter, it's a large collection of items. So every team is going to get anywhere from 45 to 60 items that are going to be themed with the same look. So you're going to see anything from, I'm sure, from t-shirts to hats to scarves to thongs to
Ooh,
like
thongs, you say?
thong, 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 thong. Gotta bring it back. Right, yeah, thongs, skateboard decks, probably. Who knows?
Yeah.
Toilet seats,
Yeah.
doggy poop bags. Who knows, man?
Everything. They
Everything.
trying to make money, so they're gonna do everything.
Yeah.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we got to talk about the LA Galaxy and how they played
Oh,
last night.
really?
On July 13th, they went to Frisco, Dallas, or what is it? Dallas, Frisco,
Frisco,
Texas.
Texas.
Frisco, Texas, Dallas, Houston, whatever. Well, they went to Dallas, and
Yeah.
the match was played at 6:30 p.m. their time and 5:30 our time, correct? Something like that.
No, they're
7.
Central Time, so that's 2 hours ahead.
So 7. And I'm pretty sure the sun was beaming. But let me get you guys the starting lineup for this match against FC Dallas. At goal, of course, is J Mac, John McCarthy. Your center back pairing, Maya Yoshida and Jalen Neal. Outright, Mickey Yamane. Out left, with the injured Julian Alde. Johnny Nelson gets to start, which, he's been more than solid this season. In the midfield, you have Cerillo and Delgado playing your quote-unquote pivot center mids. In front of them was Ricky Puig. Out left was Diego Fagundes. Out right was Gabriel Peck. And up top was Joseph Bad Form Paintsill. What do you think about this lineup as we went into Frisco this weekend?
Wow. No Miguel Berry.
That's what I'm saying. Why
Right?
am I goat start? What the fuck?
Like, it's funny, people rolling out the memes, right, about Miguel Berry.
Every
I don't know if
time.
you guys saw mine. I had the Frankenberry like cereal, and the Frankenberry guy looks like Miguel Berry, which is funny. He had that same goofy smile. But no Miguel Berry. It shows you how much faith not just Vanny but this whole coaching staff has in Miguel Berry as a starter to try, well, not even try, but maybe replicate anything that Dejan Joveljic has been able to do up front. We all know that Dejan, as even though he scored numerous goals, he's not probably the best option Galaxy could have up front. We keep saying at the beginning of the season, we were like, man, we need like a real solid striker. And Joveljic has been serviceable. He's been able to get the job done. Um, but from there, it's just like literally a cliff, not literally, but figuratively, a cliff down to Miguel Berry, and then from there, it's just like a chasm, like an endless void, because there's nobody else, right? Maybe Bebo, maybe he needs an opportunity, but yeah, no Miguel Berry. So I was like, really? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're gonna throw Pinto out there? Poor Pinto, at this point, this guy is fatigued. He's running on fumes, man. So
Yeah, the thing with Painso, I think well let's talk about it now. Um, his bad form is maybe caused by his injury, and then before he got that injury, he had what like a full year without breaks. He
yeah,
played in Belgium and in national, and he came over here to play. He's worn down. The human body can only do so much. I will talk. Well, he'll probably get an award from me today. Uh, well, maybe we'll think. I don't think I want to be that harsh to him this time around. But yeah, seeing how Painful started off hot, being the MVP of our team to many, to see him now, it's. Are you concerned at all?
yes, I am. Because I've seen this happen before with LA Galaxy, albeit the one thing that the one memory that sticks to me the most was, like I said, way back. I think it was 98. Yeah, I want to say 98. Um, Kobe Jones had just come off playing a lot of games, and he no, I'm sorry, it was 97 because I remember Kobe had come off an injury and he had played a lot of MLS games. Then he was also heavily involved in World Cup qualifying at that time, and at one point, I remember he looked really fatigued, and I asked him a question in the locker room. I was like, "Hey, Kobe, we noticed that your form has dipped a bit, and I'm just curious to know if it has anything to do with fatigue." And Kobe Jones got very upset. He was like, "How dare you ask me this question? Of course, I'm not fatigued. Damn it!" And it just got me thinking, and I always remember that because uh, athletes at this level will probably not want to admit to you, and I've said this before, they will not admit to you that, hey, I am tired, I need a break, because why would they want to say that, right? They don't
Oh
want
yeah,
somebody to come in and take their spot while they're on the mend or they're on the bench. But if it gets to a point where it's hurting the team and then eventually it hurts you because you're not able to go anymore and play at the same level, or maybe you get injured, then it's a detriment. And this is where it falls upon, I'll repeat it again. It falls upon the coaching staff to come up and say, hey, you need to take a break. I don't care what you said. You might scream like a toddler, but sit down, shut up, and relax. Take a
yeah.
deep breath.
And well, when it comes to that, you would think that maybe he's not getting the rest because maybe Greg Vanny feels that the roster is thin and he has nobody to put in that position. Of course, he's a DP player. You can't replace what Prime Painso could do. But we've seen runs and instances from damn, I blanked out on the young kid's name.
Cuevas?
Yes, from Cuevas. We've seen a couple brilliant moments from him. Why not give him a little bit more run and let Painso recover fully? And like you said, sit him down and have a conversation with him just to try to get him out of his funk. Because if we're gonna try to win a championship this year, we're gonna need him at full strength. We already seen that Gabriel Peck is getting to his peak. We're gonna need Painso as well. So, like you said, the coaching staff needs to do some. Um, yeah, it's bad form, and I'm only mentioning Painso because he had a moment early in the match, right away where he old Painso when he was in his MVP moment would have buried that in back of the net. Um, not sure what's going on, but yeah, he had one early. So the LA Galaxy seemed like they wanted to come out of this match and start attacking early, and I think that was the only real chance that the LA Galaxy had in that first half.
Yeah, and we're talking about Painto and all that. We haven't really gotten into the game, although you started talking about it. Um, this was one of those games that you get the the idea, the picture that both teams really were not into it, because FC Dallas, they're going through a period of transition right now. If you listen to the midweek show, I was talking to Jose Reyes from Ghost TV. He covers FC Dallas, and he was saying how with the new manager, I'm sorry, his name is Peter Lusan, and he was saying how he's the interim manager and that he took over for Nico Esteves, and they're going through a period of transition in which they're playing like a different style of play. They're trying to rotate players, trying to see which works, which doesn't work, and so maybe it was one of those games where they're trying to figure things out, right? Trying to feel out the LA Galaxy, and they're playing at home. We have seen um, we have seen reports from people that visit that stadium. That they're like, man, there's like no buzz in the crowd, and you listen to that crowd. I mean, who would have a buzz in the crowd when you've been sitting out there in that Texas sun with no cover for several hours before the sun finally dips, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I kind of feel for the FC Dallas fans, but come on, Hunt. I think it's the Hunts, right? They're still on the team. Put a
I'm not
cover on those people, please.
for real. They're all very and we
Yeah.
thought it was hot here.
No,
I'm
man.
already know the weather out there, the heat
Okay.
and the dry. Yes, Edgar. Go ahead.
Let's hear it from Chewy. Chuyaso.
Yes,
How
Chewy.
bad? How bad? Because I lived in Kansas, but not in Texas. How bad are summers at this point in Texas?
Right now, depending what part, but for the most part, you're getting about 104, 105. But on a normal day, like 95, 96, and then at night, about 87, 88, 89.
And how about that humidity? Tell me about that humidity.
It depends where you live. So like Dallas shouldn't be that bad. Houston is nasty.
Yeah.
Austin would be pretty nasty too. Where I'm from in August, it's usually about 115.
Ugh.
I
Yep.
just remember like I lived in Kansas like in '99. I just remember I know that whole area. It's all flat because way back in the day the glaciers made that whole area flat, and so you have Tornado Alley. And when in the middle of summer, that Gulf humidity crawls from Texas all the way up into the middle, the mid eastern. I mean the Midwest states. And there's some days when you get up and you could smell everything. You could smell the people down the street because the humidity is that bad. And I was
Yeah.
just thinking to myself, God, are they gonna have to play in this kind of heat? And we talk about it, right? And we're chuckling about it because we live here in Southern California and we don't have to worry too much about that. But man, if you go out there and you step out of an airplane and you have to walk around in that, it does not feel comfortable.
I
So
mean,
LA
it
Galaxy,
when you're used to it, it's fine. Like go to
yeah.
Arizona, go to like Glendale, go to Phoenix. Yeah,
Oh
around this
God,
time,
mm-mm.
it's around the same heat.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm not down.
It's nice. Like dry heat is nice, man.
Oh
You-
God, it feels like you're baking, bro. No,
No, that's
thank you.
humidity. That's when it's
No, no,
humid.
no. That's you're broiling.
I don't
Either
know, man.
way,
I like the heat. I was born in a place where 90 to 100-degree weather was normal, and that night it was about 80. High 80s. So yeah, I it's okay with me.
well, let me just tell you something. If you live somewhere, like I said, where you could smell people down the street, right? You see them and you can, I can smell what that guy's wearing for cologne or no cologne, right? And you have insects the size of birds, then you live in a pretty rough area, man, as far as the weather.
And
But
so,
anyway, let's get back to the game because
yes. Well, I'm gonna give you the temperature for that match. It was at 97 degrees with passing clouds yesterday.
fantastic. I can
Yeah.
already hear the cicadas.
So I'm already knowing the LA Galaxy. I think. Well, I'm gonna jump a little ahead. I think Vanny may have mentioned something like this in the post game. I need to go back and listen to it. I'll probably make a reel and a TikTok about it with him doing his quotes. But dude, that heat had affect the. It had to have had affected the LA Galaxy, especially in that first half, because in the 28th minute, Musa, who is one of their key players, ends up scoring on us. And then after that, nothing. It was a lot of possession from the LA Galaxy, but the defensive job that Dallas did, was the game plan. I'm pretty sure they didn't let nobody do anything. It's specifically our DP Ricky Pooch. He wasn't able to do much in that final third in that first half at all. And I think the Dallas Burns played a very tactical match, scored and defend, and that's kind of what they did in both halves. They just scored and then defended.
Yeah, one of the things that Jose from Ghost TV mentioned was that despite the record of FC Dallas heading into this match, where they had lost 3 of the last 4 games, they had actually been playing better, and they just happened to play against some teams that were doing very well. He mentioned that they had to play against RSL, and they had to play against a Seattle team that has suddenly found life again. And then they had a very unfortunate loss to Sporting Kansas City, where the game ended kind of like in chaos. So, um, so yeah, they he says we are better than our record shows, and in this game, it obviously came to light. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So, my goodness.
Well, yeah, it was 1-0 in the first half. Second half starts, and there's a quick substitution. Mark Delgado comes out, and the GOAT Miguel Berry comes in, and of course, the internet went wild, loving it because everybody loves Miguel Berry. But we got to see the duo of Ricky Puz and Diego Lunes once again in that midfield. You would think that when you made this type of subs, you'd be able to have the ball flow a little bit better, have a little because I think when they played, what was it? The last home game they played when Ricky and Diego played in the middle. I thought they looked fine. It was something that I've been asking for a very long time, and actually since the beginning of the season. And when Vanny finally did it, I thought it worked. And so you come in second half, you're only down 1-0. You make the switch to get more flow to the game, and it doesn't happen. It seemed that the LA Galaxy was getting shut down by this defense, and at the 55th minute, the LA Galaxy concede another goal. 2-0 at this point. Doesn't seem like anything else happens because at the 65th, Edwin Sarillo comes out, Maya Yoshida comes out, and we get to see Carlos Garces. I mean, yeah,
You actually got to play more than a minute, man.
yeah, and Johnny Nelson. So I think at that moment, Greg Vanny probably saw that this team was just not. They're having a bad day, and of course, every team has a bad day, and this is one of them. Could have been the heat. It could have been the travel. It could have been them thinking ahead into the midweek. It could have been a bunch of things, and so I mean, you're not gonna win every game, but seeing the lack of effort in this match in particular, yeah, I don't think I was that mad, to be honest. The other guys he has been playing well. A lot of this I got to credit to Greg Vanny. He has these boys on a good run, and they're still top 3 in the West. It's a loss. It is what it is. I mean, what can we do at this point? Just look forward to the next match, right, Edgar?
Yeah, man. Well, this was an ugly game, but let me just tell you, LA Galaxy has had a really hard time against not just FC Dallas but the Texas teams. I looked up some stats.
Yes, you did.
And okay, are you ready? Because I want to get not just your reaction, but Chewy's reaction and anybody who's listening to us right now. Just your reaction. If you're watching on the live chat, let me know what you think about this. So here we go. You guys ready? So Galaxy has beaten FC Dallas only once in the last 8 games in Frisco. And that's only 3 out of their last 17 matches, which includes 12 losses. As far as Austin is concerned, Galaxy has only beaten Austin once in 4 matches in Austin, and Galaxy have only won 2 of their last 7 in Houston. So in total, Galaxy have only won 5 of the last 23 matches in Texas.
Oh, well, that stat clearly says that the LA Galaxy was going to lose this match. And I think I listened to the midweek, and Jose actually is like, well, he was confident in that win, in a 2-1 win.
Yeah.
I actually believe that we could have got one, but
Not me.
There was no way.
Draw, man.
and let me read you off some of these stats because Eddie says I think we're not back. Of course not. So let me read you some of these stats. In total, FC Dallas had 18 shots to our 9, 5 on target to our 1. Possession, of course, Vanny Ball. We're always going to have most of the possession. The LA Galaxy had 64% of the possession to Dallas's 36. Passes, of course, we're going to be the most in that category with 685 passes to their 384. Our accuracy was at 92. Theirs was at 86. On the defensive side, FC Dallas had 12 tackles. Their conversion rate was 85% to the LA Galaxy's 5, which was 41%. So they were way better on defense than us. Keeper saves, the LA Galaxy, well, John McCarthy had 3. Their keeper had 1. Interceptions, again, their defense. 9 interceptions on their side to our 6. And blocks, whatever that means, I guess shots going on people's faces. The LA Galaxy received 5 blocks to FC Dallas's 3. So clearly, they had a game plan, score, and then kind of sit back. And it worked. It worked into their favor and gave the LA Galaxy a I wouldn't say a harsh L, but an L that kind of should open their eyes.
You know what? The best thing to come out of this weekend, as a Galaxy fan, is that both Levas and RSL got
Yeah.
humbled in
Yep.
both of their matches. That means that are all still even on points, even though LAFC still holds the 2 matches in hand. But this was a wasted opportunity for LA Galaxy to try to at least establish some sort of pace, I guess, within that Western Conference, because once RSL and LAFC start to get those matches back, they're gonna climb up into those higher spots. What a wasted opportunity! But it's also it's one of those games where from the very beginning you get the sense that they had checked out the moment that they stepped on Texan soil. Right, I go back to that figure I mentioned, the statistic, but it seems like the moment they step in Texas, these guys are just like, yeah, I want to go back home already,
Yeah.
and they get on the field, it's like, let's just wait for the game to end. Yeah, all right, we're losing. Oh, who cares? And then Vanny got out coached by an interim manager too. But at the same time, you also look at who was available for this match. Leo Leach,
Yeah.
Ricky Puig isn't playing as well as we expect him to. Yeah, hey, we have to say it. We have to call it like it is, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people just didn't step up well. And then Jose mentioned that Peter Musa is a fantastic player. He scored a goal in a really weird play where the LA Galaxy defense allowed him to just like walked literally into the middle of the box and pick a spot when he took the shot off the rebound by McCarthy. And it's just one of those games where you look at it like, man, thank God I didn't pay to go watch this game. I feel bad for Portuguese Hammer because he actually was at this game.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him. Sorry, Eric.
Shout out to Eric. And the
Hey,
thing,
so
one.
I have
Go
a
ahead.
question real quick.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
When do we know when the Galaxy flew to Dallas? Was it the day of?
I think
I
it was
don't
the
think
day
so.
before.
The day before?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. To me, I feel that whenever we go, whenever we have to fly 2 hours away, like 2 hours time change away or more, you have to be there at least 2 days before. That one day to get a little acclimated, and then the
Yeah.
day of practice to get used to the weather. Because we're never gonna be good against the Texas team, and it's been shown. Like Houston usually kicks our ass when we go over there, and it's usually the last game of the season. Um,
Like this
and
season.
we're not
Like
good.
this
Like
season.
the heat is you could tell that you could tell these guys used to be, a little bit rougher when they would play, like high school or football, in the streets. But then once they got that money, they got a little princessy and they can't play in the heat no more.
Yes, true.
Damn it, Chewy. Sometimes you drop some bars, baby. One of the things I found interesting about this game is that the LA Galaxy was left at donuts. They are top 5 in MLS in goal scoring with 44 goals, and Dallas played perfectly defensively. Left the LA Galaxy with no goals, and it could have been due to Jovic not being in lineup. But then again, like you mentioned, Edgar, from the beginning of the whistle, it didn't seem like they were in this match, and it kind of looked like they weren't in this match with that first goal. Just the lack of effort trying to defend that or not defend it was. It should have been a sign for everybody that was watching and every Galaxy fan that this game was not going to go our way, and it didn't.
Yeah. It's just one of those games you just want to forget, man. It's going to
Yeah,
turn the page.
yeah.
But I
Turn the
guess
page.
we have to give awards. We have to give awards.
Do we have to?
I mean,
well, let's start with the game is off per usual. If this one's hard because everybody had a really bad game for the most part.
yeah.
I do have my nag standing, but I think that one was easy for me. But the game is off award. Who do you got for this match, Edgar?
Oh, Joseph Pizzo again.
Ah,
I mean, at this point, I feel bad because we were so high on him earlier in the season. We were so excited. And it was at a point in the season when Gabriel Peck still wasn't firing on all cylinders. He was still trying to find his footing in the league. And it seemed like Paintsel came in just just hit the ground running. So we were like, at some point, Paintsel and Peck are both gonna get to that same level. And man, when they get to that point, Galaxy is gonna be so much fun to watch and to be such a menace for other teams. But the way Painsel's been playing recently, and then you see Peck getting better, it almost feels like it's like a missed high five, right?
mhm.
Where it's just not happening, and I really hope that whatever is afflicting Paintsel gets resolved sooner than later, and maybe that'll be the case once the League's Cup break comes. It's funny we say the League's Cup break, right? Like LA Galaxy is not going to advance to the latter rounds of that tournament, but if it does happen, fine, earn that break, and if not, damn, our guy's going to have some more minutes on those legs.
That's
Um,
true.
but yeah, his game is off. It's been off for a while. But there's
Yeah.
somebody else whose game has been off. Maybe you're gonna mention him.
Uh,
Say it.
yeah. I've been defending this player a lot, and I know you have a certain take on him, and I know Eddie has a certain take on him. But Ricky Pooch, this man is supposed to be your conductor, the guy that pulls all the strings, and in the match where you need him the most, I mean, he wasn't the only one that played bad,
No.
but we depend on him a lot to create the offense. And this time around, well, the game plan for one, the Dallas implemented this time around, it worked. But we need more from Ricky, and we need more from Ricky and Fagundes pairing so that Ricky could play better. Because I feel Fagundes and him do good. They do all right, better than all right. And so yeah, for me, it's gonna be Ricky Pooch. Before we get into you know what? I am gonna give my honorable mention to a certain player. I was gonna do something before that, but nah, I'm gonna give it to this person. So yeah, Chewy, you have a game is off award.
Uh, shit, I have no idea, man. But I'll go Paintsel. I don't know if he played or not.
That bad, right?
Yeah.
It was that
Damn.
bad.
I don't even know if he played.
All right, Edgar. This is probably a little bit harder one. We're going with the You've Got Hartman Award, the honorable mention. Who do you have, sir?
Jeez. Yeah, because it falls into that gray area, right? Where you're like, oh my goodness. You know what? I'll say what God says, because he actually got 24
Yeah.
minutes.
Let's
He actually
go.
got in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just the 30-second cameo. He's like, hey guys, I clock in. somebody does a throw in, the game's over. At least I
Yeah.
got my shirt on.
Yeah.
No, he
Well,
actually got 20. They threw him out there into the heat and the humidity, but at least he got to play, right?
we love to see it. He needs those minutes, and we actually want him to be a part of this first team. I'm gonna go with the young 17-year-old that was put in, Ruben Ramos Jr. He is from the Ventura FC County team and the MLS Next Pro. A 17-year-old debuted.
Yeah.
Beautiful moment for him. Beautiful moment for him and his family. And it's a dream, right, to play professionally at such a young age too. So shout out to him. A round of applause, Ruben Ramos. Hopefully we get to see more of you, and hopefully you make your way into the first team at one point in your career. So congratulations. Hats off to you. Chewy, you have any honorable mentions?
Damn, dude, that one's pretty difficult.
That one's a doozy.
Um, yeah, man. I mean, shoot, the only one of the people that I feel is consistent, and still deserves a good, I guess, saying to me is Yamane. I think
Yeah.
Yaman is has still been consistent, hasn't really dropped off that bad, and yeah, I feel he's still doing good. He's still showing up.
I'll take it. All right. And now for the most prestigious award in all of football.
Prestige.
The MVP, the nag standing player of the match, Edgar. In a shit game like this, who was your nag standing player of the match?
Gabriel Peck.
Yeah, 100%.
He
I
doesn't
don't
care,
agree.
man. He just goes in there, he clocks in, and he's playing hard.
He is, and he again with Joga Bonito moments in his match. It's been such a pleasure to watch him play. And his progression from not being as good as we were sold on to now seeing what was advertised, and he's been amazing. And he played well this game. Well, he played the best from everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that.
He's only gonna get better.
Oh my god, I hope so. And
He's only gonna get better, man. Can you imagine this guy a year or two from now?
yep. Well, he probably won't be here, to be honest. If he keeps playing like that, he keep getting better.
Don't say that.
I know. We need another title. Please, Peck,
Yes.
give it to us. Chewy, you got a next standing?
Yeah, man, that the what's it called? The bull from the match day poster.
All right.
Uh, Peck, Peck. Yeah, man. He's. It feels like he fucking took Painsel's aura, like his everything that Painsel kind of had in the beginning, and then kept it. And now he's playing really freaking good, man. Yeah, that wife probably told him, "Hey, what the hell, man? I like LA. It's expensive. Make more money."
Well, actually, I was gonna side note. I actually really love the title to this episode, "Thrown Off the Bull." That's exactly what happened to the LA Galaxy yesterday afternoon or evening, whatever. Anyway, that does it for the awards.
Hey,
Do
man,
you have?
sometimes Galaxy helps us with the titles, man. Like they made that match day poster. It looks cool. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty freaking dope. I really, really like it. But then we lost.
Yep.
Can you show us the poster, by the way? Can you bring it up?
Let me download it. Hold on.
All right.
All right.
While
And-
he's doing that, Edgar, you got something?
No, I was just gonna say it feels like every time Galaxy, like I said, you know how I was saying, as soon as they step on onto Texan soil, it's like these guys are like, can we just go back home already? It feels like they walk into like some like local bar, right? And everybody's wearing cowboy hats and cowboy boots, and you see these California guys walking in with their their track suits, and somebody says like, hey, look, there's get on the mechanical bull, and then you have Ricky Pooge walking up there like, I got it, boys, and he jumps on, right? And he's on his bull, and all of a sudden that bull starts going nuts, and he just gets launched.
I am picturing it. I'm picturing that, and that is hilarious because Ricky Pooge is a very petite man, so him
Yeah.
flying from riding the bull would be pretty hilarious. Hopefully, he doesn't get hurt if he did that, though. So while Chewy's getting that ready, there was something I was going to mention.
Here, I got it.
You got
There
it?
you go.
Okay. Well, let's prepare everybody.
Wow,
There you
look at
go.
that. Oh, it's Jovelich. Where's
It's your
where's that?
Belich. I
Number
think so.
14? Wait, who's 14? Is that Barry? Can't tell.
Who is 14? Damn, we're bad with the numbers. That's
Not
horrible.
Barry. No,
Well,
I'm
either
saying,
way.
it's Johnny Nelson of everybody. Johnny Nelson.
Oh, well, I think I heard this on the Spanish commentator that Johnny Nelson actually played in Dallas. Or maybe I was tripping.
It's
Probably
just
talking about
I
somebody.
just think it's funny they got him on there. I thought it was Jovelich because of the hair, but no, it's Johnny Nelson.
Well, either
Look at
way,
that.
yeah,
Look
the
at
guy
that.
actually got thrown off the
Dale,
bull.
Toro, dale.
They got thrown off the bull. Had a horrible night. Had a horrible work day. So hopefully it gets better in the midweek. We'll see. Anyway, that is actually no, that doesn't. What the fuck?
Q&A, baby.
Yes, the questions. Let's get to these questions on Instagram. That's what I was gonna pull up. The questions. Duh.
Well, we did have some questions on the chat, by the way.
Yes. Actually, Eddie had asked one. He writes, "Do you guys think Vanny waved the white flag and switched to focus on Wednesday's match with those subs?"
Yes.
I think so. 100%. Yeah, there was. 65th minute, you kind of take everybody out and you put people who don't really get minutes in. Yeah, white flag. And you know what? Rightfully so, because at that moment, the LA Galaxy wasn't doing anything. FC Dallas was playing their game, not letting the LA Galaxy move into any dangerous positions. And so, yeah, you got to know when you're defeated. And it is what it is. Let's go to Instagram. From Ant ALV 007. Seeing RSL and Levas FC lose made the loss sting more. Why? Oh, because we could have been in first place.
Yeah.
Yes. So we agree with you. But this is the thing, though. If it would have been the opposite, where those two teams would have won, the LA Galaxy would have been playing that chasing game into trying to get into that first slot and maybe challenging for the supporters shield, which I don't think they're that far. Might be wrong. Adam DC 25. Galaxy needs a striker this transfer window. Move forward now to Colorado on Wednesday at home. Yes, Galaxy does need a striker, and hopefully, the young player from Chivas that Chuy was talking about can make an impression, and maybe he could be useful in MLS, and maybe the other Galaxy goes out and get him. On top of getting Marco Royce, can Marco Royce play striker?
No, but we could really, really use him right now.
Yeah, definitely. It's a long season, and we need players of that caliber. Logan Jones. Barry sucks. That's it. That's all he said.
We're all advocates for mental health awareness and for being nice to people and being like Care Bears, right? You spread kindness and you hug people, but sometimes, when you see like a duck, right, and you're like, what is that, a cat? And like, no, it's a duck, right? And then you say Barry sucks, and you're like, yeah, he sucks. So there you go. It even rhymes, right? Duck suck.
Hey, bro, this is corporate America. Mental health was last month. Nobody cares about it this month.
My bad.
Damn it.
You missed the month. You missed it. Ni modo. Moving on to the next agenda thing.
Many men wish death upon me. That song is everywhere. Anyway,
those memes are hilarious.
Those memes
50
are
Cent.
funny, dude.
50 Cent, you're something else, man.
Yeah, and anyway, back to these. The thing about Barry, he puts a lot of effort when he comes off the bench, and I kind of do like him off the bench. We do need another striker, but let's just say this. We have those two strikers already that are actually great to put in and would produce. But let's say in the 90th minute, in overtime, you just throw Barry in there for a cross. That's the type of player he is, and I don't mind that. Of course, right now with Dayon down, we're gonna need more from him, and he's shown time and time again that he cannot. But the times that he does, he's gotten us wins. He's gotten us game winners, and he loves playing for this team. It looks like it. So I'm gonna lay back up from him. I'm gonna lay off him because yeah, he's a professional regardless. Anyway, that does it for the questions. Thank you for everybody who submitted questions. And I do remember Eddie asking another question, and it was it had to
Yeah,
do with the U.S.
Chirundalo.
national. Yeah, who would you take, Cherundolo or Southgate?
Southgate.
Yeah, it's a. I
I
think that was
mean, any Brits would probably be like, oh, don't take either one.
it. Yeah, yeah, they're
But
both.
at this point, as far as the whole U.S. men's national team thing, this has been beaten to death, like on every podcast across the country about who do you bring in there, right? Who do you bring in? Now that Jurgen Klopp said, no, sorry, fellas, it's not going to be me.
Yeah.
I really, really, really think it should be Cherundolo. Just leave him there, leave him where he is. Just don't mess with that team. Just leave him there. It needs to be somebody else. It needs to be somebody outside the United States. Although I keep hearing from people that no team that has won a World Cup has done it without a domestic manager, which is kind of interesting.
Mm,
So
we'll see. We'll see.
we'll see.
USMT talk. We'll do that later. Ah. So Edgar, you had some announcements?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna reach out to our. I reached out to our good buddy Matt Pollard. He covers Colorado Rapids,
Yes.
so expect us to have a nice little midweek show, baby.
Hell yeah.
With Matt Pollard. Oh yeah, and credit to my sister. Eddie designed these, but my sister put it on a shirt. And if you guys like this shirt, let us
Yeah,
know
I actually do
because
like that shirt. It's pretty
there's
cool.
different colors. This is like the stress one midweek show. It's got the city on it. It says the midweek show. It's got the little nag logo there in the corner. Just letting us know.
Those are really cool, actually. So
Yeah,
yeah, we'll have Matt Pollard on for the midweek. We'll try to get it out as soon as
Pollard,
possible.
we all love Matt Pollard. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a really cool dude. So hopefully we get a good conversation with him. And look, Colorado Rapids are not a bad team this year, so it should
dude,
be an interesting conversation.
they've only lost once in their last 6 games. They're I mean, I'll agree with Travis from the Happy Foot Sad Foot. He said, I still think Galaxy and LFC are a level above Colorado, but my God, you cannot sleep on these guys,
Yeah,
especially because Cabral might show up all of a sudden. He had a pair of goals and an assist just a few games ago. And he's got that game against Galaxy circled on his calendar. He's like,
yup,
Alonzi, let's
yup.
go. He's got his baguette ready to like slam somebody with it. So we'll see how it goes on Wednesday.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Anything else before we take off, gentlemen? You guys got anything? No?
No,
Yes? Maybe so. We're
just want
good?
to thank everyone that stayed up with us tonight, man, because it's late. But
Yeah, it is late.
it's night after dark, baby.
Nag after dark, yeah. And actually, I am surprised that I played 3 soccer games today, and I'm not that tired.
That loco. Well, you'll feel
Yeah.
it tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm actually probably gonna sleep the whole day tomorrow since it's my day off. So sleep in. All right. That does it from us here at News Across the Galaxy. Of course, you can follow us on all social medias. You guys can follow us on TikTok, X/Twitter, Instagram, MySpace, and what's the other one?
Amazon Music.
Oh, that's MySpace, Amazon Music, Spotify, at News Across the Galaxy. And of course, you can find me on Instagram and X/Twitter as Bryant Nags. Edgar, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter, never the X. Twitter as Edgar Nags, or you can just type in NA_GS. And also on Instagram is Edgar Nags. Chuyaso?
You guys can find me as Chavez JA Chavez Ha on all my social media. Pretty easy, pretty simple. Fine.
I like when you do yours, Chewy. You have like a very constant, pretty easy, pretty simple. I love that. Anyway, that is it from us here at News Across the Galaxy. And as always, keep on nagging.
And Wu Tang.
And Wu-Tang. Oh, you got all. Hey, that shirt is pretty cool though. I'm not gonna lie.
Keep on nagging.
Keep on nagging.